Okay.
All right, we're
We're
live.
live.
What's up? We had some technical. I had some technical issues. I was broadcasting on Nam Young's channel, my haul videos. So apologies if you caught it live. That's great. But basically, that video is not available. I'll post it and upload it at a later time. But we picked up a lot of books. I will show you the big book I got from that haul, which kind of deflates the entire
Build
haul
up.
video, the build
You
up.
can
Yeah, for
save
the
that for later. You can save that for
well,
later.
I'll just show off some of the highlights. I guess I picked up some Jim Lee books, half a cover right there. Two new
Cool.
ones. Picked up this one. This is a 9.8 candidate. That one also for $1.13. So those are big. I picked up this another copy of Wildcat. So those are my. Oh, and this one,
And
the
this
Wizard.
is from Half Price Bookstore.
These are all from half price. These are all half price a cover. This Wizard Superman Tribute Edition, really great book if you're a Superman fan. Has all kinds of cool
I need to get a
Superman,
copy of that myself.
yeah, Superman
Has a
history art
from '93, right? From '93.
from '93. Yeah,
Yeah.
again, sort of building up to the death of Superman, and also previewing what comes after the death
And
of
they
Superman.
even discussed movies, Superman movies, and all that.
Yep, the
Superman
TV
history.
series. Everybody, yeah, just and it even has a Superman price guide in 1993.
Yeah.
So Action Comics was selling for 125,000, which is a steal, right? Which is a steal, but still more expensive than anybody can afford in 1993. So, and I also showed off the Book of the Hall, which is this. Yes, it's a
That's
first
crazy.
print
Yeah. How do you get
edge of.
half price for the half price of cover
Yeah,
price?
paid $2 for this.
My goodness.
Persistence pays off.
Gee.
And this is I want to J Rule, if you're watching, I know you picked up some big books. Maybe you picked up this book at some point from Half Price Books. But yeah, man, I'm coming after you, man, for the title of Half Price Books. Big holler.
Who's
Big
Jay?
holla.
Who's Jay?
Jay's a local guy here. He puts out these great comic haul, Half Price Books comic haul videos. He's always picking up like really really rare keys and high price keys from Half Price. I'm like, man, I could have gone to that location and picked it up, but he beat me to it. So I'm really local to my area, but he goes all over the Puget Sound area. So he's really dedicated to doing this. And he picks up books on the cheap. So he's sort of my sensei in terms of this strategy of not spending a lot and really being disciplined on the hunt. Okay, so Hyung, do you want to explain our not so secret Santa thing that we launched?
Yeah, I mean, he just got us by surprise. Otaku Young came over to one of my live channel and just surprised the heck out of us. He started matching us up with the our partners, and I got hooked up with the Chop and Drop. Otaku, he got hooked up with Metarog, and so just different people got meshed up. He did a not so secret Santa. What is it called? Not so secret Santa.
Hashtag not so secret Santa.
And we're supposed to. Was it $20, $30, $25?
We had a $25 limit on what to spend.
Yeah.
On books. But I mean, you could go over it if you wanted, but we didn't want to do it. Have a situation where people were sending $100 books and their partner was sending $10.
Matter of fact, I just sent out a comic. I sent out a Chop and Drop book today.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. So
Did he send his books as well?
No, he said he's going to send his out today also, I think. So.
Yeah, we didn't have a time limit on this because it was right around Christmas. So, with all that was going on, we didn't want to say, oh, you have to do this.
People didn't have to do it. If people wanted to do it, they could have done it.
Completely voluntary, yes.
Yeah, me and Chop say, hey, let's do it, no problem. So And then Roger already showed his books, your books. Okay, I need to
Yep.
go watch that. I haven't watched it yet. I don't remember
All right.
watching it carefully, anyways.
All right. So I got a note from Roger. I'm just gonna read it.
You wanna quickly go watch that one since we didn't watch it?
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Oh, you haven't watched it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I know what I sent him, right? I know what I sent him.
But I
I
want
just
to
don't
see
know
his reaction to it. And
Oh, you want to show it? Yeah, we could, I guess, show it before, or just kind of show glimpses of it.
let me see.
That is a good idea.
Let's see. Roger's channel. I just type in Metarog. Okay. Wait. Content entry, mass. Not so. Oh, he mixed it up. He mixed it up. Okay.
Nothing about otaku.
No, he's doing something else. Let me go ahead and share screen. Share screen. Share the system audio. Okay. So let's see.
Start off with the not so secret Santa
Okay.
exchange. Now there was a stream a few weeks ago that Namen Otaku tour guide put out, and during that stream, Otaku essentially paired up people that were in the chat and on the stream, on the live stream, to sort of exchange gifts, right? And I think the parameters are, make sure you get to them before the end of January and less than $20 or something like that, right? So I just sent off my package to Otaku, but he sent me some really nice goodies here, and I really like the spirit behind this, right? Again, it was voluntary, of course, but I really like that, the fact that comic community can sort of have that kind of interaction, just like you would have in a work environment or in a family environment. I think that's really cool. Well, one of the things that he sent me, by the way, he had sent a nice note, which I thank you again, talking, but I'm not going to show that here. He sent me this really cute little Japanese figure from Japan, and it goes, on the edge of a cup. So I have it here on my cup. Here, sent to me by some time back. Really cool little figure there. So thank you, Otaku, for that. And then he sent me some comics here. Here is the first installment of Nightfall in Batman 492. So I have never read that. I'm a big fan of Doug Monk, though. So and Norm Breyfogle is a really good artist. So I'm interested in looking at that.
Ooh,
this one is the one I really, really love.
Oh, yeah, he loves those kind of books.
Super Friends, of course, I was, I never missed the animated show on Saturday mornings. I'd wake up and make sure that I caught
Same
them.
Here. Yeah. Same here.
With the non-superpowered teens. Then he sent me this Prophet with a Liefeld cover. I don't think I've read much or any of Prophet. That's it. And then he sent me this really cool one. I actually do enjoy these Secret Files and Origins series. I have several of them, but I did not have this one, and it's a landscape cover here by Carlos Pacheco. And that previous one was the first solo Prophet. He put little notes on there, which is nice because I know what these are all about. This is a Grendel is a cool series. I remember the older series from Kamiko, I believe it was. And I thought that was pretty cool. But this one looks a lot more intense here from the Dark Horse publisher.
That's a Simon Bisley cover.
The art. So really, really intense, good art.
Simon Bisley.
Cover for sure. And then finally, he sent me this Deadly Class. And this is the photo variant from San Diego Comic-Con.
Wow.
So really neat. I don't know anything about this comic. So again, thank you, Otaku, for sending me all these goodies that I didn't have, and I can't wait to get into.
Cool.
And of course,
that was fun.
Yeah. That Japanese, so that Japanese little character that I sent him is a gachapon, which is like it's a capsule toy. You know, you put in the coin and you ratchet
Oh,
little
yeah,
thing, and then
yeah.
it comes in a capsule. It comes out in a capsule, right? So you don't know what you're going to get. You can kind of look in and maybe see, but you really can't. They're well designed, so when it gets lower, you can kind of see what you're going to get. But when it's at full capacity, you don't know. It's just random. But those capsule toys are like and they're still popular. They're still coming out with editions, but they were really popular when I was in Japan. And that's an office lady, and she does all these like fun, cute poses, and you can just position her on like a cup, any cup. So that's I think it's Kimiko Kapu. It's her name, and she sits on the cups, and they're just really cool. So I thought you might enjoy that.
That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, and it looks like Roger really went all out on his package to me. So excited to get to these. Yeah. So we have here Batman Family.
Ooh.
Giant. Cool cover. I want to say this is Aparo. No, who is this? Yeah, Jim Aparo. Cover. Really cool Man Bat and someone called the Outsider.
Mm.
Nice Bronze Age book there. Yeah, nice Bronze Age book there. Nice cover. I just saw the back of this. I am going to save that for last because that's a nice book. We also have. Oh wow, cool! This is an event from the '90s, and I don't know why I don't remember this book. I should. I'm seeing this for the first time, but it's a Sabretooth. It is in the red zone. And it's looking like it's like a mid-90s book. It's a foil variant, which is really cool. So, wow, that's great. And this next one, we have, I forget the artist's name on this run of Wildcats, but it's Wildcats number 25. Wow, that is beautiful looking. Another foil cover, beautiful foil cover. Love these covers. And who was the artist on this? Gotta look it up now. This is, well, no, the interior is different. So the interior is a little different. The interior artist is great. You know, the interior artist is also
Show some.
Yeah.
Interior
is not Jim Lee, but it's
pretty good.
It's really good. It's really good. It may be the same as the cover artist. If I see the name, I know who the cover artist will be. I'm not seeing it anywhere on the splash page here with the artists. Is it in the back maybe? Yeah, here we go. Oh, Alan Moore wrote it. Artist Dave Johnson, Kevin Nolan. Okay. So the cover artist though is doesn't have the cover. I want to say the cover Travis Charest is the cover artist on this one. Beautiful.
It's really good art.
Isn't it? And I love this. Look at this back cover with Zealot back there. Just a great Great wraparound cover there.
Wow, wraparound even. Wow.
Thank you. Wow, this is great, Roger. Awesome. You can tell he watches my videos. Awesome. Next, wow, we got another artist that I collect. John Byrne goodness here.
Ooh, Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight, great memoir cover. Sweet. Alpha Flight number 15. I'm sorry, yeah, Submariner cover. Awesome. Another, oh wow. Oh, but it's Will Spartatio. I thought it was Jim Lee, but it's Will Spartatio. Grifter cover there with Backlash.
Mm.
And then we also have Brett Booth on the Kindred. Remember reading that? That was a great book.
I think I might have that in my one and done box.
Oh yeah.
Issue number 1 of those.
Oh yeah, the Kindred. This was a good series when it came out. I remember just being excited about it because it was.
I haven't got to it yet, so.
It's like a team up between Backlash and Grifter. So I remember that being.
I have a Backlash with the double cover.
All right, the next book we have is Batman. This is the Brian Azzarello run. Batman 624. I believe this is a key book. I'll have to look it up. I believe this is a first appearance of one of the villains in this.
I hope Chop is not looking for key books. I didn't give him key books, I don't think.
And this next book, wow, it's a Silver Age book. It looks to be. I do want to be very careful with it. Maybe you could look it up for me if you're on the computer. Manhunter 2070.
Manhunt Showcase.
Yeah, DC Showcase featuring Manhunter 2070. Can you let me know who the artist is? It's beautiful. It's beautiful artwork. It's DC Showcase number 93. It's a beautiful book. We were just talking about science fiction, right?
Penciler is Mike Skowski.
Okay.
Mike
Sadowski.
Yeah.
Oh wow, cool. He's another artist that I really like.
Is that it?
No, we got one last book.
No, is that the one?
That's it.
Yeah.
Can you make that bigger somehow?
Yeah. How's that?
Yeah, Mike Skowski. Wow, I thought that art was very dynamic. It's a great cover. Look at that cover there. Look at that cover. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Roger.
Wow, that's nice.
But we're not even at the best book.
I love that book.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
We're not even at the best book in this little run here.
But you think the other one is better, huh? Wow.
This one is it's a great cover.
Oh, you kidding me?
Yeah.
Dog.
Action Comics 485. Neil Adams cover.
Oh, you dog.
Classic cover right there.
Shoot.
Homage to his own Action Comics 233. Beautiful, beautiful. I love this book. This is
Me too.
Thank you so much, Roger. Wow. What a book.
Wow.
And this is exactly, I mean, if I found this copy at Emerald City Comic Con, I would have paid money and picked it up. But to get this here in this manner is just more special.
Well, it looks like I'm going to have to look for that book in Emerald City.
Yeah. Love it. Wow, thank you so much, Roger. What a gift. What a
Good job,
gift.
Roger.
Yeah.
I knew you
All
would.
right.
I knew he would hit it out of the park.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's been a nice week for me. How's the long weekend for you, Young? I know you were making a lot of videos and on a lot of channels all over the weekend. I saw
Yeah.
you everywhere.
Huh?
I saw you everywhere this weekend.
You did?
Yeah, you were on a lot of channels this weekend, weren't you?
I was on show with you.
Mm-hmm.
Where else was I on? I was just on Roscoe's channel just now, and I said, "Hey, my bro's doing live stream. I gotta go." And then I went, and you were streaming on my channel, and I'm going, "Oh, these guys gonna think I'm."
Did Roscoe? Did you get the commission that you did from him?
Commission.
Did he finish? Did he finish your commission?
Did I order commission from him?
I thought you did.
I think somebody won a book, and I already sent it to them.
Oh, you already sent it. So you sent Roscoe's book to that person.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I think so. Yeah,
Cool.
That I didn't get some of his original artwork. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, I was at Roscoe's channel. Then where was I before? I was at 1011 also, but that was 3-4 days ago, I think. I think it was on January 3rd. January 3rd.
January 3rd. I mean, okay. I thought I saw you on like a bunch of different channels. Maybe it was from earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was your weekend?
Okay. I mean, I was catching up with the video making, and I enjoy making these little shorts. So those are fun.
They are fun. I'm having fun with them.
Yeah. I can show you these. I didn't show you these before. These are first issue special, and they would have issue number 1, introduce a story. Then
yeah, that's the one with the lady cop, right?
Yeah. I got issue number 2. Right.
Those are, I heard there's rumors that James Gunn is looking at these stories.
Issue number. I mean, these are just a one and done. Basically, I read this right, and then it just dropped off. Shabab, she got me into this, right? Then
yeah, we love Shabab.
Then Sarah, she got me into this, and then it just dropped off, and I'm like, "What are you doing to me? You knew this was going to happen to me, right?"
Well, what's interesting about that? They're bringing Lady Cop back into the current...
I'll get to you spoiling it for me. This is issue 5. This is issue 6.
Nice.
And notice this. Okay.
Nature Street.
Issue 6. Issue 7.
Uh-huh. I know where you're going with this.
Issue 8. I'm missing issue 9, issue 10.
Nice.
Issue 11. I think I'm only missing 9.
That one I would like, just because of the name. It's such a cool name.
Assassin. Issue 12. This one?
Yeah, Codename Assassin. That's just a great comic book name. Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that with New Gods? Is that the Kirby?
No, it's not Kirby. This one is not Kirby. But there's some Kirby ones in here. That thing.
Did Kirby come out with something called the Gods or something like that?
Yeah, he did, but not that particular issue.
Not that one. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. Tom King. He's bringing all those stories back.
Oh, okay. So it's Tom King, not James.
Yeah.
I kind of miss.
Yeah, Tom King is bringing all those stories back into this series, The Danger Street.
Danger Street.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and
So-
so I watched Shebab's video where she features that book,
Yeah.
and yeah, in the story there's like Lady Cop, and she's
there's
like,
a lady cop in the
badass.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So she was happy about it. Of course, I forgive Sheba because she told me about this, But yeah, all those kids are in here with her.
There she is. There's Lady Cop.
There's Lady Cop and there's those guys from the Danger Street.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That
so
is so cool.
Basically, all these guys are basically Tom King is concluding every one of these guys because none of them, except for issue number 8, except for this one,
Made it out. Yeah,
they made it out of this first issue special, right?
that's absolutely right. Yeah.
So, he's concluding the story. But even this guy's in there. Even Warlord's in the book.
Oh, in the Tom King version.
Yeah, he's in here too. Everybody in these books.
Is he in that first issue though?
Yeah, he's in.
Oh, really? Show it to me.
Yeah.
How did they bring Warlord into like the mod?
Well, he's just a regular.
Oh, just a regular guy. Okay,
He's just a regular guy.
Oh, okay. That's hilarious. It's funny, and it's also like really intriguing because it's a unique approach to
So he's
bringing in
basically. I mean, you say Unmyeong, right? I mean, I just got that book, and I'm going, Lady Cop, and I read it, and I'm going, the story hasn't been resolved. You guys knew about this, and you recommend this book because you say it was a good story, and I read it. Oh yeah, it was a good story, but it's not resolved.
Yeah,
you should have known that. You should have known.
They never
already.
gave her another chance.
You guys didn't tell me about that part,
Yeah.
So
well, I hear the Lady Cop comic is actually pretty horrible in terms of like their depiction of women, but I mean that's pretty common throughout the older comics, right?
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean that's what I appreciate about that it's like a picking back into history,
Yeah.
How people were thinking back then.
Yeah.
And but when Roger or even Sleepy Reader or Sheba, Sarah, I mean those people, were a fan of these books back in those days, and they got stuck right there, right? At least I didn't get to be stuck for that long. As soon as I found out that, hey, what's going on? Tom King comes out with this book.
Are you one and done with that book?
No, I'm gonna continue on this one.
Oh, nice.
I'm not putting it into one and done box.
Yeah. All right. Great.
Yeah.
I think I want to get a copy now just to follow you guys.
Yeah, because that's why I'm collecting all these. I got one more book to collect and I'm done, and then I'm gonna finish up collecting these guys. So.
Nice. Nice. Well, we'll get to see a resolution to Lady Cop now, so hopefully it.
Yeah, I get to see the resolution on all these books, except I mean I didn't need to see this one, but
we need to get Lady Cop trending. Come on, everybody, go out and get Tom King's book, support that title, and let's get Lady Cop her own book. Let's get
maybe we'll invite Tom King over for a talk.
Yeah, and let's not that Lady Cop is a bad name, but I think we could give her a more intriguing title like The Adventures of Lady Cop, or the Sensational Lady Cop, or something cool like that.
I'm fine with the Lady Cop because now I'm a fan of Lady Cop.
You're fine with just Lady Cop, huh?
Yeah, it's I'm glad I'm a part of the Lady Cop family now. So
I got to get a Lady Cop copy just because everybody I know has Lady Cop fever. I have the fever now. I have Lady Cop. That's what I look for at Emerald City Comic Con. I look for a copy
And I
Clean
will look
copy,
for
lady cop.
the final issue of this.
Are
I
you
may look for
gonna
a better version of Lady Cop too.
slab Lady Cop?
No, oh yeah, like this.
Yeah.
My own slab. I'll do my own slab.
Great. Got a grade and slab Lady Cop.
So yeah, so that's one of my project. I told you my project on this one, right? But I'll tell you again.
I love that book. I have it as well.
You do have it?
I have it. Yeah. I got
Yeah,
it at
that's
Emerald City Comic Con 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's a really undervalued book because it's not only it's what Action Comics 300, right?
500
or 500. It's a key key issue in terms of the print run, or so the run, and it's an infinity cover. It's Ross Andrew, right, who did the cover.
I don't
Beautiful
know.
cover by
Look at
Ross
you, back
Andrew.
cover. So this is a. Is this? No, it's not a. It's not a. It's not a.
No, well, I mean, it's technically it kind of is. It kind of
Yeah.
the background.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess you're right. You're right.
Connects, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love Superman? Kara and Lois on a cover, right? And can you have those three legacy characters on a cover? You're going to sell books. So
Superman, this is your life story.
Yep.
And has origin story in there, of course.
Yep.
So I am doing a little research on Superman's origin story from Action Comic #1. I'm thinking the Action Comic #1 had a one-page origin story, so it didn't tell you much except that his parents shot him off to planet Earth, and somebody from planet Earth picked him up.
Yeah.
And later on, he became a Superman, working at Daily Planet or whatever, right? I mean, it was a very brief origin story. But that one has a pretty extensive origin story. I got this one.
Hyung, I'll put one more on your radar if you don't already have the copy. World of Krypton. I think you have one of them, right?
Yeah, I want to keep. Yeah, I want to get those. But I just want to keep track of basically how origin story changed from decade to decade to decade.
Yeah.
And so because in this one, Superman leaps rather than flies.
I got to get that Treasury edition. Man, it's a beautiful book. That's a beautiful book. Oh,
yeah.
Is just.
And the prints in there are.
Right.
Man,
look at those big bold pages. Right, yeah, look at those.
Look at the baby. Look at the baby.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to do. I want to do a little research on Superman's origin story and how it changes. Keep on adding meat to the story, as time goes, and his power increases. Power creep goes up. Ability to stop a bullet. He was faster than a bullet, but now he could bounce a bullet off. When that happened, and all that stuff, right? So, yeah. So anyway, that sounds fun, right? That sounds like a fun project, right?
That is a fun project, and I'm joining in on you on that. I'm gonna do some research, and I'm gonna come up with a little. I don't think I mean, not that there's. I imagine there are probably. I don't know how many books would you put that at? Just all the origin stories. It's got to be at least 10, right? At least 10 different.
Well, the most familiar one. I'm looking for this copy right here.
So Young, I'm looking at these Kindred books that Roger sent me again, and these are actually books. So Will's Portatio did the art, and Brett Booth did the art on this other copy, but it's a Jim Lee story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's he and Brandon Choi did the story, so they're credited with writing. So that's cool. That is so cool.
So this is has some origin stories in here.
Oh, is that a treasure? Oh, yeah, that's a treasury.
Yeah,
edition
that's
as well?
not treasury edition. I mean, it
Is
looks
that a
good.
reprint of something?
Yeah, I'm sure that it collects reprints from the Superman books.
I guess it is a pretty deep rabbit hole if you're doing all the treasury and reprints and all that. That could get to be a, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Just
just
the-
want but origin story though. I just want
Yeah.
an origin story.
So you're not looking to collect like reprints and all that. Just
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, that means I have to collect the original book, right?
right.
So I don't know where this. So thing about it, this one is, it says thing about this one is that I have to find out, but it has origin story in here.
hmm
Uh, so here's what this little this is what it looks like. It doesn't say
Nice.
where that issue is coming from.
But that's the book you have.
This is the book
That's-
I have, right?
Yeah, 300. Or was it?
No. That's 300 is different origin story.
Oh, okay. That looks like the same image though.
Well, the 300 is homage of this.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Who's the artist? Is that Kurt Swan?
Kurt Swan.
Wow.
So here's how it reads: Who is Superman? Where did he come from? How did he obtain the miraculous powers that caused the world to gasp in awe?
hmm
Here at last are the answers. The incredible story of the origin of Superman.
Nice.
So it doesn't say where this particular comic book is reprint from. So it feels like this is the origin story from in this book.
It could be.
And this is the origin story that I remember.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, Kurt Swan is more of a Silver Age artist, and that's a Bronze Age book, so it could be a reprint.
Bronze Age book. Let me look at it. 1974. Yeah.
Right.
Bronze Age, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's around when Swan was doing work still, so I don't know. It could be a Swan. It could just be a Swan original book, or it could be something from the Silver Age. My bet is that it's a reprint from the Silver Age.
Look at the train. I told you there's
Yeah.
no roads, but
Yeah. Scenes from Smallville.
yeah. And you saw how the baby was drawn in that one book, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let me see if I could show you how baby is drawn here. You see how baby is drawn here?
I think, yeah, those scenes are funny. Like a little baby, like picking up a truck and stuff. Those things are cute.
So, and there's a sad story of a Kal-El trying to convince the scientists that the Krypton is failing.
Does that book have mention of the red sun? Is that
Yeah, it does.
How the yellow sun? Yeah, okay.
It does mention red sun right there, right in the corner. I mean,
Cool.
so see, that's what I wanted to study on.
Yeah, Damien's in the chat.
Hey, Damien. Hello, Egu.
What's up, Agu? Hey, Agu, I gotta connect with you. We gotta head to we gotta do our pre sort of planning for Emerald City Comic Con. So let me know when. I think we were planning to connect like in the early February to go to the comic shop. So just let me know if you want to go up north, like toward Everett, or down south toward Tacoma. I'm fine either way. I do have to go to Tacoma at some point. I have a book there on hold that I have to pick up. So if we go to Tacoma, that works out for me. But if you want to stay up north, we can do that as well.
Can I invite these guys up?
Of course.
I mean, you guys want to come up? Let us. I mean, reason I'm asking is that I want to know about Superman's origin story. I'm doing little research on Superman's origin story from and where I could find all the reprints, because I don't expect to find the original prints on these things, but where I could find the reprints of these origin story, from one page Superman origin story to the extended ones, and how it changes from decades to decades to decades. Before Superman leaped, right? Now he's flying. And when did that change occur? Like, when did Superman leaping change it to flying? When that occurred?
Yeah.
When Superman, how Superman got adopted, how that story changed, how many times that story has changed, and things like that. That's what I'm trying to do a little research on.
All right, Agu's
If
saying
you guys could help.
Well, Agu's saying he's he can go down to Tacoma, so maybe we'll do that. There's first of all, if we go to Tacoma, we'll on our way back up, we'll hit Jeff's. So we'll hit Quarter Bins for sure.
So do you know? Did you hear my question, Sleepy? I mean, Damien?
I actually missed your question as I was running to get my headphones.
Oh, okay.
What was it?
So I'm doing a little research
on
Superman's origin story. This is the book where I found his origin story.
Okay. From the 40s or?
This is 1974.
So it's not a reprint of something older.
Well, it is reprint, but in here, everything else shows what it is reprinted, but the origin story doesn't show that.
Oh, okay. So maybe they made the origin story for that issue.
Yeah, so he said,
That's what we're thinking.
Let me read it for here. Who is Superman? Where did he come from? How did he obtain the miraculous powers that caused the world to gasp in awe? Here at last are the answers, the incredible story of the origin of Superman.
So I mean, I don't know specifically that one, but I have read that there are multiple updated origins that they kept redoing it.
Yeah.
So like that's what we're trying to collect now.
And so, you're trying to collect all the different origin stories.
Yeah. Of course, we're just going to try to collect reprints, because we're not going to be able to collect the Superman #1.
Well, yeah, definitely not. There's not. I think there's only like a panel or two in Superman #1, right? Or in Action Comics.
Action #1.
Yeah.
I think
just
there's
a
one
panel or
on,
two.
Yeah.
One panel on Action Comic.
Just a rocket.
Yeah, and then I think maybe in Superman #1 they did like a whole page, and then later they filled in a little more here and there. And then, so I'm trying to find it. I listened to an audiobook that was the history of Superman. And how can I search?
I'm thinking there's already a collected.
This one has one too, by the way.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a collected book where there's all the origin stories in. Oh, is that it?
No, this is not a comic. This is a nonfiction book that I listened to as an audiobook that does the history of Superman, starting with the Siegel and Schuster, and then going on and talking about all the different versions of Superman in the different media, and about the different people and their lives, how they were affected by working on Superman. What happened to the different actors and the producers and comic book editors and everything.
Wow.
So I really enjoyed it. I think, in fact, if I saw like a used copy of it or something, I'd buy a text version. But I listen to a lot of audiobooks, when I'm either doing long drives or doing chores or what have you.
And what are some of the insights that book provides that's interesting that the average collector probably wouldn't know, or collectors would find interesting?
Well, all the different stages that added on to the Superman mythos. I mean, you may be, since you guys are pretty into Superman, you may be aware that like a lot of stuff came from the radio shows, not from the comics.
Interesting.
And I think at first Krypton was a planet in our solar system that had exploded. And then they moved it further and further away from Earth with different explanations. And then the radio show invented kryptonite.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I think a number of important characters, maybe even Jimmy Olsen and Perry White, came from the radio show. So the radio show writers really added a lot. But there's so much in this book, it's almost hard for me to think of it all. But and of course Neil Adams comes off really well when he comes along and helps the creators.
The one I showed you before is Lynn. What is it? Lynn Swan?
Kurt Swan.
Kurt Swan.
Yeah.
That had that classic look.
Yeah.
Wayne Boring, also probably one of the, obviously, the Schuster.
That's another origin story right there.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Wayne Boring, I think, was the look of Superman for a long time. Before then it was Kurt Swan.
Yep.
And
of course, before that it was Schuster.
Yeah,
Schuster. He can leap. Oh, there's trains right there too. There's a little train. So
So is that the page from Superman #1?
From this one.
Yep.
Oh, that's one of those recreations of not of action, but of Superman #1.
Yeah.
So cool. I'm just wondering, there's got to be sort of a collected edition of where they feature just the origin stories. There's got to be something like that DC put out.
I'm gonna assume there isn't, and I'm gonna search and.
Let's do it. Let's do that. This is a deep dive into the comic books. Right,
they're probably reprinted in all sorts of places.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I got these, and there's reprints on the issue 500 Superman.
Do you have the 75th anniversary book?
Yep.
Oh, that looks nice. I don't have that one.
500th issue.
Is that a Neil Adams cover, or maybe
that is Ross Andrew?
Ross Andrew, maybe with Dick Giordano inking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Classic. It's an infinite cover, so it goes.
Ooh, I gotta hunt that one down.
Yeah, it's actually really undervalued. It's like $10. You can probably get a clean copy for $10. Not very pricey.
It's good. It's a good time to be a Superman collector because people aren't paying attention to Superman right now.
Yeah, I think that's changing gradually. I see a lot of people
grab them before it changes.
Yeah, that's true.
We're right into right at the.
I see a lot of people picking up the DC keys now, and it's
interesting.
I'm sure it's driving all those prices up.
But still, I bet they're more focused on Batman. So I think us Superman fans can still get a good deal.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And there's there's so much Superman stuff. There's so many copies. Even in the Silver Age, right? I think golden age is where you start to see really that price jump.
It's quite a bit different than his childhood days. It's a little
Yeah.
bit different too.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
lots of versions of his childhood. I think even
of
the
course-
names of Martha and Jonathan Kent change over time.
Yeah.
I remember
Really?
that
What
from
was?
that book.
Oh, really? What was it before Jonathan?
I
and
can't
Martha?
remember, but they had different names for a while.
Interesting.
And sometimes their names would be different every time they were brought up for a while.
So that's we are making a Superman. This is your life story. We're doing our version of it, I guess.
Very cool. Very cool project.
So, I mean, I was curious because this is the book where I learned about Superman. This is
That was your first Superman? Wow.
yeah, that was my
That's nice.
yeah first. I mean,
As
the
a kid,
origin
right?
story in here.
Yeah,
So
I love that. I love that cover too. It's just
so
classic.
when the Christopher Reeve movie came out and the train scene,
Right.
but I don't see. I don't remember this. You guys remember that?
The George Reeves.
Yeah, these.
Or is that the one before George Reeves from the movies? Oh no, that is George Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, George Reeves.
Because there was another actor who played Superman in the serials. I can't remember his name, but there's a lot about him in that audiobook I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
And he never was successful other than playing Superman, but he was perfectly happy with that, I guess.
This movie had a Lois Lane in the train, but this one don't have a Lois Lane in the train.
I was always interested in speaking with people who watched the original TV George Reeves TV serial of Superman, to see like exactly how big that and impactful that series. I imagine it was like the hottest television show on one of the hottest.
It was very hot,
on.
according to that book.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember though. There was some problem where a different producer took over, and it became less popular. I'm sorry that book had so many details. I would need to reread it to remember everything.
Because it transitioned from black and white to color, so it was on for quite. It was
I mean, and if George Reeves hadn't died, I think it would have kept going.
Interesting.
For quite a while. It was very popular, and there were some controversies, like some little kids jumping off of their roof because they thought they could fly like Superman.
I remember those newspapers. I remember reading about that in newspaper. I mean, news.
Oh man!
I was a kid. I was a little boy.
Yeah, and I think they had to have little, what do you call them? Public announcements of Superman explaining that other people can't fly like he can.
Yeah.
I made a grappling hook and fell on my butt trying to get on my roof. So, guilty.
Guilty.
I climbed a lot of trees as a kid.
First.
I climbed a lot of trees in my youth, and I'm amazed that I never fell out of one. Yeah, I'm just amazed to this day. No parent supervision. I was just climbing trees, and it was so dangerous. When I think back on it now.
Yeah, no, I was trying.
I had a lot of good climbing trees as a kid. I was lucky that way.
I was trying to answer some of that question, but I couldn't really find.
Oh, you got the encyclopedia there.
Nice.
Yeah. So another Christmas gift from the girlfriend.
That's an amazing gift. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I actually saw that
Superman encyclopedia.
I saw that at the bookstore, and I was like, I want to get this.
Yeah.
But
that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Does it have a Superman? All the Superman origin story in it?
It just shows.
It's like a big.
What it does, it gives you like when you get to that character,
right?
Like just a page per hero or something.
Yeah. So let's see. So I opened it up to here. Yeah. So I think I think what it does, man, this thing's heavy. But I think what it does, it gives you like an overview, and then it divides into like subsections of like other reading.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so right here goes to Rebirth.
I liked that John Burns redo of his origin too. I thought that
Right,
was cool.
and that's in Man of
Talia,
Steel. Is it? They do cover the origin in Man of
So
Steel.
does it give you like a back issue numbers and all that?
Yeah, so it does say some issue numbers and stuff on it.
Cool.
Classic Stories, Superman Volume 1 at 423. Action Comics at 583. And it says that it breaks down like that one broke down like the 50 years. Continuity as a Superman family retires to make way for a potent reimagining of characters. Okay, so each time there's a volume, it gives a little brief, like a brief little description of what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, are we diving into something?
I didn't think I was this tired or this thing's this heavy or both. I can't hold this one hand.
How many pages is that? It looks like over 500 pages, maybe.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna look for that scale to weigh it. All right, guys. I have this scale. Any guesses?
I'm gonna say 15 pounds.
15 pounds.
I'm gonna say 10 pounds.
Because you look like you're struggling there for a little bit.
I am. Well, that should be 5 pounds. All right, Damien. Any guesses? Oh, he stepped away. All right, I'll bet $1. No way! It's 5 pounds.
It's 5 pounds. Okay, I was way off.
How is this 5 pounds? Maybe because it's like
it's big.
I was closer. I was 15 pounds. I was 10 pounds.
I mean,
15
I could
pounds.
go
Now that I think about 15
right
pounds,
now, that's 5
ridiculous.
pounds. I could do this with it, but I think because it's like this, it just I don't know.
It's awkward to hold, and it flap opens, and
Yeah, I think maybe that
Yeah, I'm trying to give
It
you.
looks heavy though.
You could do triceps with it.
I think that could club an intruder with it. Like it'll do the trick. But yeah, I thought it'd be more than 5. Man, I don't know. All right, to be fair, I've been up early, okay? But yeah, there's that horrible accident today, Damien. I don't know if it made way to Portland news, but
Well, I haven't been paying attention to the news. What accident?
okay, good. No, there's a horrible accident this morning on the 405.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Gabby had to go to work, and she got turned around because she couldn't make it in.
Yeah, it was a 6 cars were
Wow.
involved, and a few deaths, and it's horrible.
Seattle. I don't feel safe driving around Seattle. I'm sorry, guys.
When I first moved out here, I was kind of afraid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where did you
Whoa.
come from?
Oh, the east side of the state, Tri-Cities.
Oh, okay. So
I felt
coming
more
to the
comfortable driving in snow than I did in water.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and just so many drivers, everyone gets grumpy, and
Yeah.
so there's
Ooh,
this
Jim Lee.
80 years of Superman
Yeah.
Action Comics. They made a hardcover. This is
Nice.
the underneath the jacket,
Uh-huh.
and they have the Action Comics, which is just the one page kind
Yeah,
of,
that one page.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
and I think it just shows. It doesn't even show Krypton exploding or anything.
Right? Yeah. It just
It
kind
just
of
says as a distant planet was destroyed
Yeah.
by old age. The scientist places his infant son within a hastily devised spaceship, and that's it.
Does it
Does it
show the rocket ship? Doesn't show the rocket ship, right?
I guess
They show
there's
his parents. They don't even show his parents.
no. There's it's kind of that might be the rocket ship.
Oh, that is okay.
Let me see.
That
what else
baby
they
holding
got.
the sofa though is like so. It's like those images are so funny. We are just talking
Yeah.
about how it's evolved.
It'll take me a while to see if there's other origins, but this is a fun book to have.
What is that?
Those
book?
are just classic stories then.
It's the 80th year celebration of Action Comics,
Mm.
and they did a 80th a regular issue of Action Comics, but then they did this hardcover with even more in it. But I don't know if they include multiple origins in here or not.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's an interesting thing to you could just do a book following all the different origins, but I don't think anyone's done that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I wanted to be able to do is go each one of them and how each book has different, because the Action Comic has it, but so does Superman comics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what was interesting to me was when you mentioned that how the radio serials were that they would create new stories for things,
right? And new lore, part of the mythos of Superman.
Yeah, that was interesting. And you said they introduced kryptonite from those.
Kryptonite came from the radio. I think a bunch of the details about the Daily Planet came from the radio. Because I think it went, again, my memory, because there was so much in the book, is a little blurred, but I think it was on the radio by, within a year or so of appearing in comics.
Wow.
So it was really early on. So they had to, for the radio shows, they had to start making up a lot of stuff.
Wow.
I keep reweighing this just to make sure it isn't 5 pounds, and it is. I've done it this way, that way, Fine, you win.
It feels like more than that.
It feels heavy.
Ego's ego's busted.
You were working out earlier, right?
5 pounds.
You were working out earlier, so.
Yeah, so everybody else is asleep. Sleepy just woke up, so.
So, Damien, are you going to go to the? I think they have a comic show coming up there in Portland, right? Comic-Con.
I think it's the one that I don't go to because it's really just media oriented.
Okay.
And in terms of buying comics, the Frankenstein, the quarterly Frankenstein comic swap is probably the better way to go. Sorry?
It's quarterly?
Well, it was in the past, and they just had one about 2 months ago. So we'll see if they keep doing it. It was in a much bigger space this past time.
Okay, good.
And so it was much more like going to a con in terms of having. In fact, it was better than any con that I've been to in terms of how many dealers they had. Although a lot of it was kind of junky.
The pricing is good.
Yeah, a lot of it was low-priced comics.
Okay.
But it's just, anyone who wants to pay $20 or something for a table can have a table. So,
right. So just like
it can be people like us just trying to sell part of their collection.
Right.
But there was also people from stores there and things.
That's cool.
Yeah, because the one when I first met you was at a Masonic temple or hall or something.
It was at a what are they called? Not Masonic temple.
Was it a Shriners or?
No, and it wasn't in Elks. It was something like that.
Okay,
I can't remember.
Like some sort of lodge or something, or?
It was a lodge, and they've sold it since. They've sold off the building.
Yeah, and then since
they stopped.
Yeah, I went to.
It was the Eagles Lodge. That's what it was.
Eagles, yes. And then after that, I went to this other comic swap thing. But it was the day that Bueller was moving out.
Oh.
Yeah. So I tried to get a hold of him.
I remember now that I didn't know you were in town, and then
and I didn't know how to get a hold of you guys. Or I didn't think about it, but
I don't think I was on Instagram at that time. I was
so I went to I tried to go to other stores. I went to Tfa.
Tfa's not really that good.
Yeah. For all that advertising and stuff, I was like, it's what?
It's the least or one of the least exciting comic book
stores.
Yeah,
and then by then I was already stuck in traffic. I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
So
Portland traffic can get as hairy as the traffic
Yeah.
around here.
So I think
One of the
stopped
best
at
ones
a-
is actually in Vancouver, Washington, across the river from us.
Okay. Okay.
So, like, if you guys ever wanted to come down, I would say we could start by meeting there.
Yeah, I mean that saves you a good hour, right?
was it
Um,
I love
It
comics.
probably
or
would save you
something?
about 40 minutes.
Okay.
But we could meet there, shop there. But also, I'd like to come up there. I just don't know if I am free to come up at the con or whether that's even a great time just to hang out with you guys.
I mean, again, if you could come up, that'd be great because I think the three of us are planning to go. But at some point, we'll
How about
either
the ticket,
down
by the
or-
way? How about the
Oh,
ticket?
you go! Great, awesome.
Airplane ticket and everything. You have every issue of this, by the way.
I do, somewhere in my storage locker.
Did you hear they brought Lady Cop back?
Yeah,
Well,
he
I
said
know
he's
they
the one.
have Danger Street, which has going to bring everyone back from that series. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lady Cop seems to be like one of the major characters,
She's in the
judging
first
from issue
issue.
1.
Yeah.
And the Danger Street is from the
Jack
I'm gonna have to
Kirby
go- I'm gonna
Dingbats
have to
of
go
Danger
find
Street.
a copy of Lady Cop at the con.
That's a very silly comic.
Jack Kirby.
I know. The art's nice, and he's trying to bring back the kids gang, but to the 1970s, I guess.
So I'm missing one issue, but
Which one
Oh,
are you
man.
missing? The Warlord one?
I got the Warlord one.
Oh, good, because that's the expensive one. All the others are cheap.
Yeah, I got the Warlord one. The
Which one are you missing? I might have a double.
You
I
said
think
9,
the magic
right?
guy, the helmet, yellow helmet.
Oh,
guy.
Dr. Fate.
Yeah, Dr. Fate. Yeah, Dr.
I don't
Fate.
think I have a double of that one.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But that's it. But I know where to
Wait,
get it.
Dr. Fate was introduced in DC Showcase?
He already existed, and I think they were reintroducing him there.
Yeah,
Interesting.
So
Okay.
I think so was a Return of the New God. It was a
Right. I always forget about that one. Yeah.
yeah. So, but rest of them they didn't make it out of a.
Right. The
They
rest
make
of
it out of
them never.
And
happened again.
that's why I complained to Chef when she recommended this book.
Mhm.
She well knew that it was going to end with the story not being resolved.
Right.
And recommending this book to me, knowing that
Just to torture you.
but as soon as I bought the book, you told me about you know what I think you're the one who first mentioned Tom King during the
Yeah.
yeah. So I said, oh, okay, good.
I was excited about that till I actually read the first issue of it. Now I'm less excited.
Yeah,
that's
I know. But I still want to.
Is it one of those things where you see potential for it being good, or is it just was not good from the get-go?
It's probably not bad. I think partially, like right in the first issue, Warlord is kind of a clueless wimp. That's not my Warlord.
Yeah.
You're ruining my childhood.
That's okay. That's what you had issue with.
I mean, I'm not angry or anything, but it's just not how I would like to see Warlord portrayed.
Did he not make it to the middle? I mean, did he not make it to the? I haven't read the whole thing yet. I just skim it through.
I've
Did he
only
not
read
make
issue
it-
1. I think there's an issue 2 out now that I need to pick up.
Did he not make it to the center war? Maybe that's why he's wimp, because he didn't crash into the Middle Earth yet.
They don't. If that's the case, they don't mention that. He's trying to join the Justice League for some reason. He seems to think he's a superhero. He never thought he was a superhero. He was just a guy with a sword and with nearly
They're taking
naked
too
chicks
many
that he had to
liberties.
rescue.
They're taking too many liberties with the characters. You can't have that. Come on.
Tom King doesn't care about superheroes, or
I think what he's trying to say is that Warlord could never join the Justice League.
well, yeah, it wouldn't make sense for him to but in this thing he wants to join, and he calls himself a superhero.
we're going to discuss this in Commandy episode, but one other thing I wanted to mention was, you know how Commandy is everything happened outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe Middle Earth is not affected. Why isn't that a crossover?
Warlord's children could be under there, right?
Yeah. So I was like, why is there not a crossover between Commandy and Warlord? You know?
Oh,
That's a brilliant idea. I think DC should pay you a lot of money for that.
I mean, he was in the bunker, by the way, right?
Right.
He's in. So if they had to go deep into the bunker, they could have access to the. And the book doesn't explain what happened to the rest of the Commandy people.
No.
So
yeah. Well, I'm going to save some of my Commandy thoughts for Thursday. But
anyway, so
on a completely different subject, I heard you guys talking or interviewing Agu, and I thought it was really cool that that a girlfriend got you into comics, because that's, the
that
reversal.
Really cool,
and I was wondering, is the girlfriend still reading comics? Is it still the same girlfriend?
So yes, and yes, kind of. So she's into the graphic novels now.
I see.
Yeah, so Sandman,
right.
Yeah, so I think I'm pretty safe picking up Sandman.
Sandman initial run were all comic books, right? I mean, I know they collected them into graphic novels now.
Yeah, it was one of the first things that ended up getting collected, but when they were first publishing it, I don't think they knew that was going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, so she's a Neil Gaiman fan.
Oh yeah, he's a great writer.
Yeah.
Does she buy new graphic novels at all, or is she just reread her Neil Gaiman?
I think she rereads.
Nice.
And right now, was it Sandman? Was it on Netflix or one of these streaming sites?
Yeah, it was on Netflix.
So I've never read Sandman. I don't know anything.
It's amazing. I hear it's amazing.
I just know, what's her name? Can't think of the lady. Death. I've only read that one issue where she crosses
the high cost of living.
What's that?
Is it Death, the High Cost of Living?
No, she crosses over onto a DC Comics with a Captain Atom.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I read that one because, like, hey, this is her appearance. So you go hunt, you go look for it, and I think I bought it for like $2.
Right.
Nice.
So it was over at the they don't call it the Jet City Con, but the one in Tacoma.
Yeah.
I can't think of it'll come to me. But yeah. Anywho, that's all I know about that. But she's watching the show on Netflix, and she got to this diner scene that she doesn't want to watch because she read it and it was horrible. It's like really gruesome. And she goes, "You don't want to know." And I was like, "I don't want to know." I don't want to know. So Russ,
I'm trying to remember a diner scene.
Yeah, so Russ kind of told her about it, and she goes, "Yeah, it is bad, but then you have to get over it." I guess it's pivotal because some character gets their powers during that scene, so you can't really like skip it. But it's like someone with some powers makes other people do other people things which are not right or something. But yeah, it's above my pay grade when something's that graphic. Like, no, I'm good. If something happens to the puppy in any movie, no, I don't. That's it, and I've heard that there's categories for that. Like, you could go and look it up. Does the dog make it in this movie?
Yeah. That's traumatic. It can be traumatic to young kids, right? To see a dog.
Yeah, so
a lot of adult animal lovers can't stand when the dog gets killed in a movie.
If some
it's
person
okay for humans, but not dogs.
They don't have a category for babies, but they have a category for dogs, though.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm sure they have one for babies as well.
Yeah, but I mean, they could hack and slash a human. I'm cool. whatever. They can't do that to a dog. They can't do that to
Yeah.
a cat. They can't, But yeah,
There's
You
a
should watch it
fantastic
cartoon.
single issue of Sandman that's all about the dreams of cats.
Ooh.
There's no humans in it at all, if I remember it correctly.
Cool.
So you guys telling me the Sandman started with the graphic novel, not the regular
No,
novel?
it started in individual issues,
Mm-hmm.
and then they did like a 6 or 7 issue story, and they put that out as a graphic novel. It wasn't even from the beginning. It like started at issue 11, or I don't remember the numbers, but it was from a deeper cut, and that sold really well. So then they started putting out other Sandman graphic novels. So
Right.
the early issues didn't come out as a graphic novel till much later.
Yeah.
So I remember I read that first graphic novel, and then I started getting Sandman in single issues. But I never read everything. So I may have missed this thing at the diner because I don't recall that.
Cool.
But it was good. Sandman is good. But I didn't realize it was all one long story. It just felt like a bunch of 6-issue stories and then some individual issues. Like there's another issue where we learn about a deal that the Dream made with Shakespeare. And it's just a single issue about Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I was introduced to Neil Gaiman by his books, so I didn't realize he started with the comic book.
Yeah.
Yeah, he started with comics, and then he kind of broke into the regular prose and became a big star there too, and kind of left comics behind, unfortunately.
Well, I love his books. But
yeah, I love his stories. I never got an opportunity to read Sandman because by the time I got around to maybe we should read Sandman, it had already like ballooned into something that was like
right.
Several.
Yeah, it's like 75 issues of the original series that you need to read.
Right.
And now there's all these
branched off into other like
Sandman universe books.
Yeah.
I would look for a graphic novel and maybe just read one of them. One of my favorites is called A Season in Hell, where Satan doesn't want to rule hell anymore. And all the other gods want to take over hell, like gods from different pantheons. And Satan has given Sandman, the Dream, the key to hell. And Sandman has to decide who to give hell to.
You have an audiobook on Sandman?
I did download the audiobook, and I started listening to it, and it's too familiar. Like I remembered all of the stuff. So it was kind of like just repeating it. But I probably will get back to it sometime.
Okay. I downloaded it. I haven't read it yet. So.
Did you watch the Netflix series, Damien?
I had the same response to that. Like I watched the first few episodes and it seemed really good, but it was like there was nothing to surprise me.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't rush ahead. It was all what I remembered from reading Sandman.
Because I mean, for me, like the art in the first series of books, it wasn't all that great. But the visuals in the series looked a lot more. It definitely was more dynamic in terms of the image itself, the images that were portrayed in the book. So I thought maybe like in terms of, I know they were trying to recapture frame by frame what was in the panels, but
I agree with you. It looks much more lush and fully realized in the movie. Sandman had different artists at different times, so some of them are better than others.
Yeah,
but a lot of those Vertigo books did not have the high-end artists. They focused on the writers so much and they spent less on the artists, I guess.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, it wasn't really much. That's like early days, right, of Vertigo's, but that's what helped launch that entire publishing company.
Yeah, I would say Sandman and Swamp Thing were kind of the base upon which Vertigo was built.
Yeah. Interesting. So.
Well, you were probably more interested in superheroes at the time it was first coming out.
I was, I was deep into like X-Men and
right. as you should be at that age.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was different and kind of spawned, no pun intended, spawned that whole adult Vertigo line.
Yeah.
I mean, comic book wise, I think I was into superheroes, but book wise, I love science fiction.
Right.
Yeah. I don't.
I'm guessing you and I have read a lot of similar science fiction books. You were mentioning something on that earlier show with Otaku. I can't remember what, but I was like, oh yeah, that's a good book. I can't remember what you mentioned, but anyway.
Yeah. We like Philip K. Dick, I think we mentioned. Big fan of Dick.
Yeah, Philip K. Dick was good.
I mean, I read every book. I think I almost read almost everything on Asimov. Robert Heinlein.
Heinlein. You got someone mentioned Friday by Heinlein.
Yeah,
and
Friday.
Then you mentioned Stranger in Strange Land.
Yeah.
And I've read a lot of the Heinlein books.
Yeah, I love Heinlein books. And I think some of his space theory could really. I would like to apply some of those technologies. You know, where he has an elevator. That's not Rob. I think that's not Robert Heinlein though. I think that's a Asimov.
The geosynchronous elevator going up from the Earth into orbit. Yeah, I feel like I saw that in Arthur C. Clarke.
Oh, is it Arthur C. Clarke?
But that's actually something that space engineers would like to do. It's actually
I would like to. I think that's possibility. So here's what I've been telling Otaku is that we should have a national research where, because the solar panels is most effective in space.
Good point. Yeah.
So how are you going to bring it down? You could beam it down, but that seems like more like a weapon than.
Yeah, you could have end up blowing something up by accident.
Yeah, but if we.
I mean, how far up are we talking about? Just like stratosphere, or because that's still a long ways to build.
Well, but the geosynchronous elevator, the reason why geosynchronous elevator will work is that you're not going fast. You're just slowly moving up there. And since I mean, it's like you're swinging. You know, you swing a little ball at the end, and you swing it. You know, it will stay in that little. So you will basically you're tying the string with the satellite, and the satellite would have a solar panels out, and basically it will just stay there. And
so you're saying you wouldn't even have to do it as an elevator, just as a giant power cord.
Right, giant power cord down to the relay station.
That's a good idea.
You put it in the ocean somewhere, so when it fell into the ocean. But you know,
the one problem is we have so many satellites up there now; it might bump into them.
Yeah. We may need to get rid of some of those satellites.
They're already bumping into Elon Musk satellites.
We need to get rid of some of those. You know, they're called killer hunter satellites. You know what those are?
I can guess they're there to bring down old satellites or something.
Well, yeah. Well, they're there to destroy each other's satellites.
Oh, between different countries.
Yeah, so they could destroy
satellite. So there's like having robot. What is the
another satellite just want to just bump into you. Basically
eat each other's satellites.
Yeah.
knock you out of your orbit, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, but I mean that's a kind of warfare, isn't it? To take someone's satellite out.
Maybe there'll be a war between Elon Musk and Amazon with their satellites up in the atmosphere.
But I would love to NASA studying something like that, even if it fails, even if it doesn't succeed.
Right.
Amount of money you put into research, and I'm thinking it will have the same benefit as when the United States try to go to the moon. You know,
you produce all kinds of technologies that prove useful.
That
Right.
reminded me of a movie, The Kingsman. Samuel L.
I've read the
Jackson.
comic book. I haven't seen the movie.
Back to the comic book.
Yeah, he calls his buddy, "Hey, dude, can I borrow your satellite? You know, I just need to borrow it for a second." And you move it in so you can have the death ray. And
Yeah, well, with this, there was a James Bond movie where had solar satellites that were focusing a beam into a laser beam down at Earth. I
Right.
think that was
Oh,
Moonraker or
interesting.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Moonraker. I remember that. But,
Oh, those old Roger Moore Bond movies were the best. Yeah.
I bet NASA has a bunch of engineers who have played around with the geosynchronous elevator, like in those science fiction books.
but the elevator will be useful is that you could take up the payload,
right.
you know, and so I would have it. Because the cable.
And
has to be-
eventually, you could build the spaceships outside of gravity, where it
Right.
would be easier to launch them.
and elevator. I mean, the cable has to be pretty thick anyway.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that you incorporate the elevator and the cable into it. So
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to. I mean, how they invested in the Apollo.
Hmm.
I would love to see this nation invest in something like that.
Yeah, like a blank
Come
check.
out with alternate
project.
energy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Everybody's so I think on an earlier, I don't know if it was a show or just me and Namyan Hyung talking offline, but we were really excited about the news they achieved cold fusion, right? That this is now, we're now just decades away from having unlimited source of energy, like renewable energy.
If they can keep replicating what happened that one time,
Right.
yeah.
Right. But I mean,
I'm always a little, because I once worked for a company that had all the science right and could never get the engineering right. I'm
okay.
always like, will it really work?
Yeah, you mean like building it to
But hopefully it
scale
will.
and everything.
Hopefully
Yeah.
it will.
If it does, I mean, what it's an exciting time to be living in if that ends up being the case, right?
Right. If we have really cheap energy, we can do a lot more.
Exactly.
We can afford to build more space things
Right.
more easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hope it works, but I don't jump ahead too much because I feel like I've seen a lot of things fail. Maybe I'm too jaded.
But I mean, if we're talking about like colonizing, let's say even the moon, right?
Yeah.
Like that we need that core piece to even consider doing something. I mean, we could do it now, but it would be so like who'd want to live? Who'd want to live, you know, on really something so desolate of a rock as the moon with
Or even Mars.
Mars is like, yeah, if you're really bold to go to Mars and die there, basically.
But Mars has a lot of problems.
Yeah, I mean, no one's signing up for Mars anytime soon. But I'm just saying, like, if we could make energy, like, take the energy equation out of that, like colonizing the moon, that would be just a fairly rapid progression, right?
Yeah, if cold fusion becomes easy and you can just produce your own cold fusion power on the moon, I suppose, then you would have a lot of resources to,
right?
Because they have figured out that there's water in the moon rock, but you need a lot of power, I think, to get the water out of the moon rocks.
Mhm.
But if it was easy to get the power, I don't know how easy the cold fusion how quickly it'll be before cold fusion is easy to do.
I think we're about at least 20 years away for anything practical.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying 40, but yeah.
20 to 40,
Yeah.
Right. It becomes the scientists come up with one thing, and then the engineers have to do the really hard work, I think, of really making it work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I once worked at this company that was working on this thing that an MIT scientist had figured out. and that they could never get the engineering right, and the company went under.
Can we end this video so I could talk freely?
We could get some like top secret information. All right, I'm gonna end the broadcast. We'll get to bed soon.
If anyone's actually watching, they're going to be in terrible suspense.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. All right, everybody. See ya. Thanks for hanging out.
I was going to have to go to bed pretty soon anyway.